Has AEW gone too far with the infamous Jon Moxley toothbrush spot? Should AEW take over some contracts from some recent WWE and TNA releases? We're going to talk about WrestleMania 41 packages and an update on the John Cena heel story on the road to WrestleMania 41. This time, episode 74 on Wrestling with the Business.
Ladies and gentlemen, the band is back together all around the table in one place. It is Wrestling with the Business. Got the varsity athlete, we got no gimmicks Matt, and we got all tan Dan here, ready to bring you all the latest headlines from the wrestling business. Before we do that, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already, like the video if you haven't liked it already, and pile drive that notification bell so you get all the notifications when we're putting up new content, which is on a regular basis. You like that?
Break its neck. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And once you're done with all that, check us out on all our social medias, get all the latest content. Let's get right into it. Probably one of the biggest stories of the past week. I already dropped my rant on Tuesday of this terrible catastrophe. Jon Moxley, Adam Copeland on Dynamite last week had a street fight with a pretty disgusting spot, getting suplex on 6-inch nails. What do you guys think? I said my piece. I'm going to lay out on this one for you guys to give your opinions. What'd you think?
I think I'm just going to use the same word I used 2 weeks ago, desperation. They're desperate. They're doing stuff that's just not, like, you know, we saw that at the last pay-per-view. The matches were getting the whole show. The whole card was like almost hardcore, man. I said it was like 1990s Attitude Era. The shit that was going on, like it's and
So
it's like
worse.
that. Like they're just. I feel like it's desperation. They're trying to do things to get a buzz, which I don't really. Trying to do things to get a buzz, I can get that, but like that, I mean, I don't even know why you want to subject yourself to that. I mean, it was gross watching it. He's trying to pull it out of his back and the skin's peeling. Like, who wants to see that in the first place? I mean,
Wheeler Yuta takes enough punishment. Now he's having to peel the spikes out of John's back.
like,
And he couldn't do it. He had to leave it for the ref to do.
Yeah.
I feel like when stuff like that is done, storylines are getting stale and stuff's getting. They got to do things to kind of, you know, like what was needed in that? Like, did they need that little part in that match? Take that out. Would people be talking about that match?
No.
So it to me they're desperate. They're doing things to get attention, and that's where that angle comes in, I guess. I mean, I said that our last show. I just think that's the motto. They're just desperate. They're trying to make a change, and they do have to make a change. I mean, we've talked about that. They are in that stale. Like, we see it. I mean, but is that the road to go down? I don't think that's the answer.
You know, so my initial response to it was kind of cringy. I kind of cringed a little bit, which I think basically everybody did. Actually, a lot of the still shots from the match show people cringing in the background, which is pretty interesting. However, you know, it was hard for me to kind of feel as strongly as you did, Matt, about it, because I started thinking like, well, we all had an entirely different response when Darby Allin took a coffin drop through a plate glass window, glass pane, or whatever you want to call it. You know, we all had very different responses when Mankind was thrown off the top of Hell in a Cell and landed on a table, or when he fell through the ring and ended up pushing his tooth through his front lip. I mean, I don't know. I think I would put this kind of on par with those spots as far as level of danger. It might be less dangerous than the Darby Allin spot, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that either.
But it does strike me as desperate from a storyline standpoint. I think, like you, I agree with you. I think they screwed up at the big show, and they saw that they got shown up big time at that show by basically everybody. And they wanted a do-over. They knew immediately they had to do it, which is why they did it right the following Wednesday. And they got into it, and they just, I think that they thought that their mistake, Cope and Moxley, I think that they thought that their mistake was that they had spent many, many weeks selling this spiked bat paddle thing. and they never actually really used it.
Cope has been using that thing for a while and has never used it.
Never
like that.
really a finish. They never really finished it. And I think with Moxley's background, with the extreme hardcore stuff, the deathmatch stuff, they said, well, we can't just use this a little. We've built this up too much already. If I'm going to use it, we've got to freaking use it. And I'm not going to hit you with it. I'm going to have you hit it.
You know, you bring that up. The first couple of spots with the spike, I thought were reasonably okay. They were painful. He did a shot to the gut first. Yep. You can cover that up easily. Then he did a shot to the back, which is okay. I think that could have been enough.
You could tell he pulled it.
Yeah. But I think doing the suplex was just too much.
But that was crazy. I mean, I think that it definitely is a tension. It's interesting that they didn't try to continue the build-up until Dynasty, the next pay-per-view on April 6th. It's interesting that they wanted to do that on a Wednesday night, which is interesting. Al Snow, I think, had the best take on this. He was, I suffered through Vince Russo's podcast so that I could hear Al Snow's take on it. And I look up to Al ridiculously. He's a creative genius, in my opinion. And he basically was like, it was extremely dangerous. It didn't serve a payoff. It felt cheap. He had a really good word that he used to describe it. But basically, he just called it like a stunt. It was just a stunt. There wasn't any, and he thought that it really set us back from a wrestling standpoint because it's really hard for mainstream entertainment to take the business seriously when we're going out there like freak show, sideshow, clown show type stunt stuff that we're doing here. I thought he had an interesting point.
I mean, I put the spikes and I put the glass all in the same category. I think Mankind with the hell, that's a whole different. That's like that's.
Yeah, I agree.
That's different. That's actually like cool. Like that was almost like holy shit. That's like kind of like Daredevil entertainment. Like that. Taking a thing of spikes to the back of your back. First off, I'm surprised that Cope even did it. Is that what we're down to now? That Cope Edge, okay, is even doing that now? Like that's what I mean. I want to say I love to say you left WWE for that. Like that's what you're doing now.
Probably not. Yeah,
like, that's
probably not what he had in mind.
That's what you're doing now. Is you're taking nails and you're throwing them into and you're dropping someone on top of them. That's what you're doing. That's what you're looking for
that's
now.
Your creative juice.
I mean, like that. I mean, it just does. Like I think because you said the Mankind. I think that's a different thing. I think the Mankind again. That was back in the day when they were battling with WCW, so you could call it desperate too. But like that stunt right there is completely different. That was like a whole match. That was a move outside. That was a move
pay-per-view
orchestrated around the match type. Like I think it's something that like I get this is a street fight, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. For once, I agree with you.
Yeah, it was a whole different thing. I think that's two different things. But like even like the glass, they're doing a lot of glass now. I don't know why they're doing it. It's just like why? If I'm a wrestler, I don't want to be landing on glass.
They're doing more thumbtacks.
Like I don't want. I mean, I get Moxley probably signed off on it. Might have even been his idea.
It was
like,
his idea.
But like,
sure.
Why even do it? Like why? And if I'm Cope, why the hell am I doing that? I don't want to do that.
Do you think this was the kind of thing that they had to sell Tony on? Do you think that they took this idea to Tony?
Moxley walked back and said, "I'm doing this," and Tony's like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, man."
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
But do you think Tony had any reservations about it, or do you think he just rolled over?
I wonder if Cope had to be sold on it.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think he had to be convinced. If anybody,
I mean, look,
there was some hesitation.
He was a Cope. I mean, he Cope is like you know, I don't want to say the word legend, but he's a regular in the like. I'm shocked that I was really shocked.
I mean, he knows too from all the stuff he did back in the day with the Hardys and the Dudleys, but I don't think they ever did anything like that I can remember.
Even that's different. You're risking your body doing moves. This isn't taking nails to your back. It's a different category.
There's no spectacle really associated with it. It really isn't. It kind of felt more like an execution than a spectacle.
But
when I think about Edge, you know, spearing Hardy off the ladders while he's holding onto the belt and stuff.
But then again, again, this didn't lead into the finish. Moxley still won the match. So what's the point?
That's my biggest complaint.
What is the point? This wasn't a finish or nothing.
So is Cope done now? They lost 2 in a row. I mean, did he get a third chance?
So Moxley is basically like Goldberg times 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like,
if it was a stun gun, that would have put him down.
Yeah, like that. I don't. Yeah, that. So, I guess if Cope had won, I'd be like, I don't like it.
You had to go to such extremes.
But you can at least like write your own story into it to make it make sense. But when Cope does all of that and Moxley still gets over, why are you pushing this guy to be this indestructible, strong man that doesn't show the bell and needs a faction to back him up? Like, it's not a well-crafted story, and they are not well-crafted characters.
So this last thought on this was in the same vein as a few months ago, Swerve with the needle in the mouth.
Yep.
And now Moxley's facing Swerve.
Or the chopsticks.
Oh, that was from
Moxley.
a while back, yeah.
Yeah.
But now Swerve is facing Mox at Dynasty,
For the
so
belt.
how far are they going to go? What's going to happen
So
next?
now we got to
after
cause
this?
damage to our bodies for ratings. At least all these crazy moves back in the day that, like, I mean, it wasn't a guarantee you were going to get hurt. You're taking a chance. This is like, I mean, you're getting hurt putting nails in
Legit.
your back,
You know,
putting a needle into your mouth. Like, you're getting injured by doing that.
the real difference now that I see is if you rewind the clock back 20 or 25 years, there were maybe a couple of guys inside the mainstream that sort of made their money or built their brand off of that type of extremity, Mankind being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It's
Triple H
everybody.
with
Darby
Dax, I mean-
Allin, John Moxley, even on the women's division, I mean,
Adam
Tony
Page,
Storm,
Swerve. Yep.
Adam Swerve. I mean, there are people that are literally building their personal brand.
Was it
off
Kurt
of
Angle
that.
or Shane McMahon who went through glass?
Shane.
Well,
Facing
the
Kurt.
third time they
I
tried.
mean,
Yeah.
so he did go through. I mean, he went through glass. Triple H landed on tack.
That
So, I mean,
was-
there is a.
I think that
I mean,
was gimmick.
That was
glass.
gimmick glass, but it was painted, so the
Right.
gimmick didn't work. That's why it was so brutal.
But and Shane is known for high spots, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of rehearsal. There's a lot of safety involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. There's no way to do a move like that safely. There's just no way to do it.
I must
It's
say, I was
impossible.
quite appalled. Not shocked, but just appalled.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
was
sure.
wasn't
disgusting.
shocked by it.
I would say it. I would agree with you. It's not professional wrestling. It's stunt. It's a stunt, and it
Mhm.
really takes away from the art. So.
Well, this really divided fans online. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is it too far? Let us know.
So, AEW has released some of their animals back into the wild, as it were, in the last, let's say since November, December timeframe. So, we're coming up at the end of Q1 2025, and I thought it might be interesting to look at some of the talent that has been released by WWE and TNA and see, I don't know, maybe discuss whether AEW should jump on this talent, or even TNA in some instances, if they should jump on this talent, and see what kind of reshuffling we could get here. So I'm just going to run through these rapid fire one by one, and you guys can just give me your thoughts on it, and I'll share mine. So probably the top prospect, at least that I can see from this list, is Josh Alexander. He's was hot as a camel's ass, and kind of, in my opinion, got released very unexpectedly. In November, there were a lot of rumors that he was going to go to WWE, but none of that has really come to fruition, at least at this point. What do you guys think? Is that the kind of talent that AEW should act upon?
I think he would do well anywhere. I don't think in WWE he would be a top guy. But
They would have to change his gimmick, I think.
his former tag partner Ethan Page is in NXT, so a recombining of the North would be cool to see. But I think he'd probably do better in AEW
I don't
or
I don't know. He'd do well
or
in,
Ring of Honor.
in NXT.
Neither.
No, let him release him to the Indies. What about this one? Struck me, Indy Hartwell. I totally forgot that she got released. She was the women's champion in NXT, lighting the world on fire. Got drafted
She
up.
was
Remember,
a tag champ at one point
remember
too.
carried off triumphantly with her championship out on the main roster. And what? A year and a half later, she gets kicked to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe TNA.
Yeah,
I think she needs to build her brand a little bit more. She can do a Cody Rhodes.
she's
style
kind of
revamp.
one-dimensional.
Tegan Knox. I think she's dead.
I've always loved Tegan Knox. I'd love to see her go anywhere, but yeah, I think she's too broken at this point.
And a little one-dimensional with her gimmick, I think, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Baron Corbin.
TNA. He'd do well in TNA.
He could be a top-line champion level guy in
Mhm.
TNA. Of course, until they get bought by WWE and then he gets released again. Kushida and Kevin Knight.
Kushida's already been everywhere, so I don't
Can
know
I-
where he
I don't
could
think
go.
AEW
Can
needs
I
that.
just say
No.
this? I don't think any of these.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
I don't think any of these are going to benefit by going to AEW.
Why not
Maybe
Cedric
a few-
Alexander?
like maybe TNA could maybe benefit from like Baron Corbin, maybe because they're obviously they're looking for any like AEW, no. Obviously, WWE, no. These guys right here, to me, when I look at all these names, we can go through the rest of them in a second, but they're all boring. They're just boring. Like, they've gone through their cycle. They're like, it's one of those, like, we see it, like, we talk about, like, who are the guys that just left? Adandre, who left
Andrade.
Who went to AEW. Boring. Like, the gimmick is just like, he's just boring. He left WWE for a reason. Went to AEW. That failed. He went back to WWE. Like, it's just boring.
Speaking of which, there's reports that he's not happy in WWE again.
Yeah. Micaiah Black, boring. Like, they're just not. Like, they're just, it's the same style of, it's the same people that just, their gimmicks just don't, you can't keep doing the same thing. Like, they're just not.
You talk a lot about how AEW's roster is too large. Do you think WWE's roster is too large?
No. AEW's roster is way too large for how they're doing their shows and how they're doing their content. WWE, they did it the right way. They keep people on one show and they keep people on the other show, and they would keep them divided. They don't need to. But the problem with WWE over the last couple of years is that half the roster's always gone.
Yeah, there are people that they keep.
I mean, Randy Orton gone it's like.
Well, it's one thing to let a veteran go and take a break and take 6 months off or whatever,
or has an injury,
especially when he's an older guy that tends to be injured more. But when you've got talented guys, like I'm thinking about the Viking Raiders, like they're a really talented, great tag team. Either one of those guys could rebrand themselves and work independently. They could work multiple different gimmicks, and yet it seems like they're just kept around so that the competition can't have
The
them,
problem
basically.
with WWE is that I hate to say it is that this day and age that we live in, and we've talked about this 100 times, of you must have the WWE Championship for 3 years to be successful. It ruins it. Like, switch it to Kevin Owens for a month or two. That gimmick he has going right now is actually pretty good. Give him a title for a while. John Cena, pretty good. Give him the title for a while. People that they build, but we have to. Cody Rhodes has to have it for 3 years, and putting the whole card down. And that's where you start getting into where it's like, what are the rest doing? Like, there's nothing to do. Yeah. Like, what are we wrestling for? Because we can't go for the world title.
Yeah, you got to make something.
Like, and then the world heavyweight champion is starting to get like that too. I mean, Gunther's had a belt on him for what, 3 years? Between the combined belts,
yeah, more than that.
So that's another belt that's been hold up. Like, there's no belt changes. So what, you have all these wrestlers just doing nothing, because what does it achieve? A personal rivalry? You bumped into someone wrong in the back room, and now you got to fight. Like, that's that's the only storyline.
Or it's tournaments to become the number one contender.
That's WWE's problem. AEW is they just have way too many belts, way too many wrestlers, and a 2-hour show. Is it 3 hour now?
It's still two.
And it's a 2-hour show. They have probably I would love to know, and I could be wrong, but is AEW's roster just as big as WWE?
No, I think they're smaller.
No, it's over 100 for sure.
It's pretty close.
WWE
if you count Ring of Honor, also I think they have like 160.
And you throw that in there. They have Ring of Honor stuff going, and it's a 2-hour show. Like, you can't. I mean, you don't know what the matches are 5 minutes.
The other thing is that the AEW guys don't have exclusivity written into their contracts.
If there's one person
places
who can benefit from all this, and one person who I think can benefit from all of it, all the mishaps of WWE and AEW, is TNA. I think TNA is in a very good spot in third place right now, where they really can start picking off some people who can't fit in. Like Baron Corbin, who I've always found boring and lackluster. He could be a good heel on TNA.
He did He did a nice little turnaround at NXT.
Yeah, he was revitalizing his career for sure.
I think Cedric Alexander could join the Hurt Syndicate.
He's another one. What do you
but
get from
that's
him?
the only thing he can do.
Yeah,
if he goes to AEW, that's
you would go there to complete.
He's gonna get buried at AEW. He's gonna get absolutely buried at AEW.
Yeah.
Some of these guys need to make the decision to go to TNA. You look at the Hardy Boys. The whole delete, that all came from going to TNA, and they rebuilt their career. Their WWE return a couple years ago was huge. Everyone loved when delete like crazy.
Almost 10 years ago now, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah.
When they came back at Mania.
2016, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But like you go off to these smaller brands. There's more. You're free to do what you want to do. You can build your character, and you're not bottled down. Like, WWE may not allow you to build your character, and AEW may be bottled down. But like TNA, you can.
Yeah,
you can breathe.
I wonder if some of those bigger guys, like an Alexander, like a Sonya Deville, like a Baron Corbin, if they could make more money on the indie circuit.
Or
probably.
that too.
I think they probably could at a place like TNA.
Of this list, I think the only one that would really benefit, not in the ring but behind the scenes, is Gail Kim. I think she could go to AEW or TNA, or she just left TNA, or WWE, and really help produce the women's matches.
Yeah, I think her creativity. I mean, she was groundbreaking when she was working, but her creativity and the stuff
AEW
she's
would be
done.
smart to probably grab
I mean,
her.
the TNA Knockouts division up until a couple of years ago was the hottest thing. In
Long
wrestling.
before the women's revolution at WWE, too.
Yeah, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I mean, look at Paige just left AEW.
No, she hasn't left yet.
May upset some of you, it may not. You may wonder what's going to happen next, but I'm here to tell you that me and AEW's relationship has come to an end. But I had an amazing time there. There's no bad blood there between us. I had such a magical time. Tony was wonderful.
Job for her brother, and he just got released a couple months ago.
Really? They put the belt on her and she only went there for her brother?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, my Lord. So you got to form relationships with these people. Like, this is that's one thing that WWE does right, is they actually form a relationship with the talent and they understand them. It's not like a here today, gone tomorrow type situation. Anyways, yeah, so just to run through the last ones, we just talked about Kushida and Kevin Knight, Sonya Deville, Cedric Alexander, Carmella, and Gail Kim. So I think we touched on all those. And about the rosters, I don't know. What do you guys think? You think the roster's too
should be
big?
like Mickey James over at TNA. Go do them at TNA for a while. Get the TNA women's
I don't know if she'll
knockout.
get as high as Mickey James did, but maybe.
I mean,
the fact that TNA hasn't bitten on any of these in the last, let's say, 3 to 5 months.
Well, they just released a ton of people, including Gail Kim from backstage.
Well, yeah,
so I think WWE has a much bigger say. I think we said that a few weeks ago in what TNA does now. So
yeah, exactly. So you're probably not going to see
any of these people show up.
Hardly any of these people show up back because, I kind of feel like WWE ripped TNA's face off and is wearing it over themselves a little bit here. A little Hannibal Lecter style. I don't know. That's my opinion. Who wants to go to WrestleMania 41? Sin City, April 19th and 20th. Who wants to go? Well, if you're going to get on a plane, most likely, and fly all the way to Las Vegas, you're not going to go there just to sit in the nosebleed seats, are you? Are you? By the way, I did look it up right before we started filming here. Nosebleed seats, top row, back. I mean, literally nosebleed seats. Obstructed view for both nights, $500 to sit in the worst seats of the house. Now, I thought, wow, that's interesting. That must be the one-night ticket, $250. So they literally just double the single-night ticket. But if you aren't interested in sitting in the nosebleed seats, there are several different VIP level packaging experiences that you can have. And I just thought I'd share them with you guys and get your feedback because, as I'm sure you can imagine, they get pretty flippin' nuts. So let's start here. So you can get a one-night ticket, upper level seating, fast lane access to WWE World, dedicated priority pass entrance, and a WWE credentialed lanyard for $750 per person.
That's not bad.
I mean, considering it's $250 now, upper level seating, so probably a $500 ticket for one night, which is going to be better than the nosebleeds. But
I guess it
probably
depends on what all the other stuff means.
Front of the third tier. I mean, it means you don't wait in line probably for WWE World. It means you don't wait in line getting in. They probably have like a fast lane, priority lane for you to get into the stadium.
Everyone has a
like
pass to the no line, line now. And then there's a line there.
Well, no, obviously they're selling this as part of a VIP, so not everyone will have it. That's the single day, okay? And you can choose your night for that. Then there's what they call the silver package, okay? The silver package is a 2-night ticket and the priority pass. And in addition to that, you get, it's again 2 nights at the upper level seating, WrestleMania kickoff party with onstage appearance by Cody Rhodes.
Cody's stage, you don't get to meet him.
Cody's coming to the party. Fast lane access into WWE World, dedicated priority pass entrance, and professional on-location on-site support staff. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that person's a gopher or what, but that would be...
The guy throws peanuts to your chair?
yeah. That would be $1,600 per person.
That's a little much.
Pretty steep increase. Now,
that's only silver. It goes up from there.
If perhaps you want to upgrade to the gold level, because let's be honest, the airplane ticket to get there is probably going to be several $100s. Mm-hmm. So if you're literally not going to go there for nothing, you can upgrade to the gold pass, which has a 2-night ticket at lower level seating. So we're no longer in the nosebleeds. Maybe we're in the binocular section where we could use our binoculars to see. It includes an all-inclusive hospitality party with onstage appearance by John Cena and Bret Hart. So you can spit
Wow.
on John and listen to Brett
Bret
complain.
Hart back in the fold now.
Complaining about how Goldberg is such a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. And
Exclusive
Bischoff sucks.
WrestleMania 41 and Priority Pass gifting. So there's some sort of a WrestleMania 41 themed gift comes with that. Fastlane access into WWE World and a dedicated Priority Pass entrance. In addition to that, you get the same professional on-location site service. That comes in at a meager $4,600 per person.
That's just ridiculous.
We are just getting started.
Just so you can see Brett and Cena on stage.
Well, so now let's say the seats are a little uncomfortable, okay, for you. Maybe you're having some pelvic floor issues, okay? So you need really comfortable seats. So then you can find yourself inside a suite if you would like. So we have the Suite by the Seat. This is a 2-night ticket with suite access. 2-night ticket, premium suite with all-inclusive food and beverage. So now we're eating and drinking for free.
Now, this one has me interested because it's something I would do. So I'm dying to see what the price of this one is.
TV title photo op.
Mhm.
Kind of cool with the TV title. Top
What TV
Golf
title?
with The Miz.
Ooh,
Top Golf with The Miz. Kind of fun.
that's cool.
Fastlane
Well, you
access.
go to Top Golf with a Miz?
Yeah. Fastlane access into WWE World, exclusive WrestleMania 41 Priority Pass, a dedicated entrance, so now you know there's no line, and the same on-site support staff.
Can I guess?
Sure. That Miz thing threw you off.
Yeah.
$9,600.
$6,000. I mean, it's The Miz.
That's actually not bad.
It's
So
The
wait,
Miz.
Miz.
It depends on what access to the Miz really means. Like, are they doing like 300 people all at Top
Right.
Golf?
That's
and
what
he's
I'm
walking
saying.
around?
They probably take out a level, and The Miz walks around and hangs out and takes some shots.
But how many people are
photographs.
going to fit in the suite?
Or is Miz
No, no,
hanging?
no,
Or
they
is Miz,
probably a whole level, so it's
or is-
probably a few hundred people.
Miz is probably hanging out on the back wall with his agents and saying hello, and then he hits the
Yeah.
road.
Get the hell out of here.
with his security around him. You want to watch me swing? I'll swing.
Let's
That's it.
say you're not a big Miz fan, okay? Let's say you want the Real American Suite by the Seat
boy.
because you want to meet the Golden Goose.
You're getting some beer.
You want to meet the Golden Goose himself. You get a 2-night ticket with suite access, same as before. A premium suite with all-inclusive food and beverage featuring Hulk Hogan's own Real American beer, in case you want some Real American beer. You get a meet and greet with the man himself, Hulk Hogan. Authentic Hulk Hogan Championship belt photo op. An exclusive Hulk Hogan themed gift. Top Golf with The Miz.
Hogan and
Fastlane
Miz.
access to WWE World. It looks like everything else that's included above it. Yep, same thing. Dedicated entrance and on-site. So what do we think that is going to go for?
7,800.
If just the Miz is 6,000, yeah, I'd say 8,000.
$6,950.
So why wouldn't you just do that one?
Hogan only costs $950. Wow.
Well, because Hogan started at $10,000
I knew it.
and they weren't selling tickets, so now they've dropped it down to $6,950. So that's an interesting thing. Now,
But they selling a lot of these in general. I mean, I get them. I mean, I get, like, you got to have a lot of money. This is for people who just want to piss away money.
they aren't selling a lot of these.
Nobody wants
But
to see
I'll
Hogan.
read you what they're sold out of. And
Okay.
we're just going to have to guess how much that costs because it's sold out.
How many more tiers are there?
There's still like 2 or 3 more. So let's
Are
say
these the ones sold out?
no, this one isn't sold out.
Oh.
So okay, so let's say you're not into the Golden Goose. Maybe you want to meet the Dead Man. Okay.
Oh boy. This is going to be 15 plus.
Undertaker's Suite by the Seat, 2-night ticket and suite access, same thing, food and beverage, in-suite Undertaker appearance, authentic Undertaker Championship title and urn. photo op.
That's cool.
Do you get the title or just a photo op?
I think you get a photo op with the title.
Okay.
Top Golf with The Miz, Fastlane access, exclusive Undertaker themed gift, and the on-site support staff and a dedicated entrance.
13,000.
8,600.
$8,500.
It's actually not bad.
$8,500.
You get an urn, or you take a picture with the urn.
Take a picture.
Take a picture with the urn and
Okay.
the title. Now, there's a suite buyout, which is sold out. I think that there just aren't any more full suites available where you can just buy out a whole suite. My guess is just based off of where everything else is, this is probably going to be somewhere in the vicinity of $10,000 for that. Luxury suite seating, all-inclusive food and beverage, custom suite opportunities, and Now, I don't know how many people fit in a suite, but you got to be able to fit at least 10.
10.
Well,
So
now
you get
with-
$1,000 a person.
20
Well,
tops.
now they have the suites, but then they have the chairs that are in front of the suite. That's kind of, I don't know what I mean. So you have the suite,
Right, like the
and
bar
then you
or
have
something.
like 4 rows of seats in front of it, but it's still kind of squared off. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's all included, or people just buy the suite, but people still get tickets for the
Yeah.
front. I don't know how that
But if
works.
you think about it, let's just say it's 10 to 12 grand. You get easily 10 to 12 people in there. You could group up $1,000
Let me
a
tell you
person.
something. If I had money to piss away, these aren't that bad.
Yeah.
They're about.
Now,
I'm not
I
spending that
can't
much.
tell you how much this costs because it is a sold out experience, but I would guess that this is somewhere in the vicinity of 15 grand. This is the Elite Experience, a ticket with priority pass, premium ringside seating for 2 nights, in-ring photo op at WrestleMania, in-ring photo op at WrestleMania 41, post-show press conference access and desk photo op, superstar walkout experience on the WrestleMania stage, all-inclusive hospitality with onstage appearance by John Cena and Bret Hart, Fastlane access into WWE World, premium WrestleMania 41 Elite gift, and dedicated priority pass entrance and elite concierge services. So now you got like a butler is pretty much what we're talking, a gopher of sorts. That particular package is sold out. I
No
can't
personal.
even-
There's no package where you can actually have a wrestler that comes up and talks to you.
Well, I mean, anytime you have a meet and greet, you're talking maybe 30 seconds to a minute, I guess, depending on how long you're there for.
Producer Lily just did a little research. 18 to 26 people per suite.
Okay, wow, 20 people. So now you're talking $500 a person ish. But even if it's 1,000, even if it's 20,
I mean,
grand for
look, the WrestleMania is WrestleMania, and there are people out there that have that money to spend. Like, you know, if that's what they want to spend, like, I mean, I get that could be a cool experience walking on the ring and the ramp and going to the entrance. I mean, for 15 grand, you'll never forget about it. I mean, some people may save for a whole year for that.
this is only, you know, they've got all kinds of other stuff. Those are just the you know, premium type stuff. You can
Yeah.
buy all kinds of packages. I did look. Ringside tickets, which some are still available, are still going for $7,500 to $10,000 for both nights to sit on the floor up front, right in the middle of things. So
look, if people wrestling fans are crazy. If they're really big fans, they'll spend the money. Hey, we do a show every week, so
They're
I
the
mean,
same ones who
we're
like
wrestling
Moxley
fans.
getting
I
nailed
mean,
by spikes.
I mean, look, I don't look. I think it's good. It's a good thing if prices are. I mean, WWE is able to hold a price of $500 for behind the stage can't see. I mean, they're holding a pretty good price.
yeah, I mean they've got packages in here, experiences as they call them, where they won't even put the price up. You have to contact them for it. But yeah, row 2 and 3 on camera side, ringside photo op, superstar walkout experience, hospitality with onstage appearance, 3-day WWE World Ticket and Fastlane access, you know, ring mat plaque, you know, just all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyways, puts us into perspective, a long way from WrestleMania 3, where I think tickets went for about $30 a pop back at the Silverdome. So let us know what you think down below. Would you get a priority pass if you had 10 grand to burn and you happen to be in WrestleMania at the end of April?
All right, guys, heading into WrestleMania 41, the big main card wrestling match, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. You know, we talked about this for a while. How are they going to make this match work? Well, we know how they're going to make it work now. We've seen heel Cena. And let me tell you something. When I saw this happen at first, I loved what I saw in the ring. I go, oh, this is great. And then I'm saying to myself, if I know John Cena, he cannot sell heel that well. And let me tell you something. I've watched last week and I've watched this week. He's selling it pretty good.
Yeah.
And call it his acting skills, call it whatever you want to call it. He put out a good sales pitch.
He is chewing the furniture a little bit, I have to say.
It is good. And I'll tell you right now, he's favored right now, by the way, to actually win the match. Odds have him winning the match right now. I tell you right now, again, I've been a big component of the final boss being a great gimmick for The Rock that really, I think, kind of sold John Cena on this concept that The Rock becoming a heel as a movie theater, it's worked out for him. I think, you know, when you look at John Cena, you look at The Rock, okay? Movie star talent, right? Does going heel hurt their movie image? Didn't hurt The Rock. Rock's selling it pretty good. And I think, honestly, that's what sold John Cena on doing it, too. Like, oh, if The Rock can rebrand himself as the final boss, let me try to rebrand myself as a top heel now. And I think this team is going to do well. I'm curious to see where it goes with the two of them, how much The Rock's involved. But in regards to Cena, Great sales pitch. The what he said on Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna ruin it for every fan, every wrestler.
He's going to make a spinny belt. He threatened to make another spinny belt, basically.
And to take the belt and go home. The first week, he was whining and complaining, and the crowd fed right into it. Fed right into it. The F you, Cena, and then this week, he actually explained why, and he had a good sales pitch. I'm for it. I think at this point, it's becoming so good, he's almost got to win the belt. He almost has to win the. It's gonna get to the point where this becomes such a good sales pitch.
I don't think it's an almost. I think he's gonna win the belt.
I think he has to win. It's getting there.
If you want to get rid of the belt, if you want to reinvent the belt,
which they've talked about,
you let him walk out into the sunset with his 17th title. Ric Flair is going to be at WrestleMania. I betcha.
It gets rid of this whole Universal Champion,
untie that Christmas tree knot.
Undisputed Universal World Heavy. It gets rid of all that. But I don't know what they're going to call it, but whatever.
Just call it the WWE Championship. That's it.
Yeah, all right, let me chime in with a couple thoughts. So number one, my first thought is it's working. And the way that you know it's working, not because of what you think or I think, because when his music hits, the crowd pops and then they boo. They go, oh my God, John Cena's here. F you. I hate you. That is heat, bottled heat, fusion heat.
That's what he used to get when he was a babyface too, but this time it's actually
that is perfect.
Correct.
It's perfect heat. Because it wasn't this extreme though. The hate that he got.
No,
it was 50-50. You get 50-50 crowds where the young kids love him. Now everybody hates him. He's destroyed everybody's dreams. They're excited to see him.
They want to hate him.
And they want to hate him.
It's like Roman Reigns. You can never get him. They want to hate him.
Even Dirty Dom didn't get that kind of heat. He would just get the boos. He wouldn't get the pop. But the fact that he's getting the pop and then the boos tells you that it's working perfectly. Okay. I don't think this is making Cody look very good.
No.
I think Cody is becoming
I don't
victim.
know about that. The crowd's right into Cody. They're still cheering.
I think Cody is he's becoming Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is one of the most boring heroes in all of cinematic history. He's only cool because he stands against Darth Vader, who is the coolest villain in cinematic history. And I think this is what they've created, one of the greatest villains, 22 years, he turns on his fans, Hollywood Hogan level villain, and that's the only thing that's keeping him afloat. Because I got to tell you, listening to Cody talk, especially this past week, about these people and their belt, it felt a little ham-fisted. It felt a little not great. It felt a little Dusty Rhodes 1975 to me. Felt a little overworked.
I think Hogan's a better comparison.
I think that this storyline is actually not particularly interesting. Like, these particular characters aren't that I'm not that intrigued by them, but I think that WWE going over to Europe, they're astroturfing excitement. They're going to an area that has been starved of live WWE entertainment. They're putting themselves in front of a ravenously hungry crowd, and they will eat up anything that WWE hands to them. And I think it's making everything even better. I don't think you'd get the fuck you Cena chance in St. Louis, Missouri.
You may now,
or
because people
Washington.
have heard them. But that first week, you wouldn't have gotten
Yeah, when they were in Belgium or whatever.
That,
it's like
Brussels. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's like they don't. I think that they're kind of trying to. I think this is a strategic choice. I think they knew it was going to take something that's mediocre and make it good, something good and make it great, great and make it exceptional. And I think we've got something somewhere in between good and great. I don't think Cody's quite as good of a foil to Cena at this point. So I think it's between good and great, but it looks outstanding. It looks like one of the greatest works in the history. But this doesn't excite me more than the last 2 years of Bloodline stuff did. This doesn't excite me more than that. As a fan, just looking at it,
I think there's some stuff to be played.
There's been very little contact between them. I feel like the WrestleMania 41 vignette's going to be really boring. It's going to be showing the same scene from Elimination Chamber, where he turns heel on Cody over and over and over again, because all they've done is stare at each other.
We still have
4 weeks.
4 weeks away. So.
All they've done is, 3 weeks. But all they've done is stare at each other. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be too many run-ins between them in the next couple of weeks. I don't see that happening.
You'll get a Rock appearance in a week or two. That'll spice it up.
And I agree with you. My last thought, I think that Cena wins the belt. Does something... There's going to be some kind of redemption even at the end of the match, Ric Flair is going to come out and shake his hand or something like that. There's going to be some kind of redemption arc. He's going to have an opportunity. Or if he stays heel, he doesn't retire. That's my prediction.
I think he's going to win the belt. He's going to keep it until probably Survivor Series, 6 months or whatever. During that time, Cody Rhodes rebuilds himself up, and then at Survivor Series wins the belt back, gets Cena's respect. Something happens in the interim between him and Rock, and then at that point, at the end when he's about to retire, then he'll turn back. And
I like that story. I just don't like that Cody gets the belt back. I think somebody else.
Maybe it'll be somebody else, but
Cody Rhodes. Look, what's it? I love Cody.
They'll
Rhodes.
do a draft, so they'll shuffle after us.
I love Cody Rhodes.
I don't see anybody else at that level though
Gunther.
to face Cena.
But no one can do what Roman Reigns did. I mean, Roman Reigns. I mean, actually, he kind of. I mean, I forget how long it was. I don't want to go down that road, but like, no one could. I mean, Cody Rhodes is not Roman Reigns. I don't think Cody Rhodes can hold the belt, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't want to hold the belt. You're gonna get stale holding it for that long.
He should take a break. He's been working really
John
hard.
Cena has always said
He's had it for a year.
Whether it's cheering or booing, as you were saying, a reaction is a reaction. And when you come out and the crowd goes like that, it's going, it's working, and and I really think he's going to win it. And I think they're going to keep this storyline going. He could disappear and go, I'm not going to show up at all. I'm going to keep your belt off of TV. You're not going to see it. And people are going to boo. They're going to boo more and more. He's going
to come out with some gaudy monstrosity.
No. He's just going to he's going to sell leaving. I'm leaving because you don't deserve me to be on TV right now. And he's going to be your champion. And he's going to leave.
So he's going to Moxley the belt?
No. I think he's going to leave. But that's going to be put into a storyline leaving. Like we probably have like a movie or something, but he's gonna leave maybe for like a month or two, and then come back. He's gonna be WWE can have no champion. Oof. That's gonna be the sales pitch. He's gonna be it's gonna be the ultimate villain, and then he'll come back. You're right. I think they'll do some kind of. I think he's not gonna retire and leave. He's not retiring at WrestleMania. He's gonna leave, just walk out with the belt. He's not gonna retire. You're not gonna hear from him. And then he'll come back, and some will draw him back, and he'll come back, and then they'll get into another storyline. Maybe The Rock's involved somehow with Cody, and I think Cody, ultimately, I do think Cody's going to win it back. I like to see maybe someone else, but I think the redemption has to be Cody. And
I got to give Cody a lot of clout because unlike his predecessor, he is an actual working champion that shows up every week, puts the belt in front of people, and does shit with it. He doesn't disappear for a month or two.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Cody Rhodes on every show. Okay, actually, John Cena's been on quite a bit.
Well,
believe
sure.
it or not.
Yeah.
CM Punk's actually been on quite a bit. Like they're all been on quite a bit. I mean, Roman Reigns has been off and kind of
they're touching on basically every storyline.
I mean, there's a lot of people
week.
that I feel like they're. I mean, it is WrestleMania. I mean, they should be there, but like the question: who leaves after WrestleMania? That's what you want to see. Is CM Punk disappearing for 3 months? Is Roman Reigns leaving again? Like, what's the deal there?
Yeah, we'll see how quiet things are in the June.
Look, Cena can't. If Cena wins, he can't be on every show. So they're gonna sell him leaving. They're gonna sell him saying, "You don't deserve a champion. I'm leaving," and it's gonna be his retaliation to the fans that you don't deserve me to be here as a champion.
Yeah, I might try and work an angle where Cena goes on tour on the late night shows and stuff, and then gets confronted. People are chasing him down or whatever. That might be an interesting toss back to the Johnny
That's something
Carson
they haven't
days.
done. Yeah, that's
that might
They've
be
always wanted to boo Cena, and now they get a chance.
That could be fun. Yeah, and convince their kids that Cena's a monster, which I'm sure they really want to do. That's it. Episode 74 is in the books, people. Please let us know what you think down below. Please keep in tune with all of our channels. We're posting multiple videos a week. Please be sure to check out this past Tuesday's video, in which Matt takes a walk in the park and loses his mind. I believe the police were called, if I remember correctly.
We had to run, yeah.
Some insane hobo was running around chasing people, so be sure to check that out. Whoop, whoop. And in the meantime, keep watching, and we'll keep wrestling with the business.